to another collector's discussion. Today we have interesting news regarding JND's new pre-order listing for their Joker 1/6 scale. And when I mean interesting, I mean how many times is this character going to get made in the past couple of years? It seems like WB have maybe opened the licensing options for this character to be made once again, and that's why you getting everyone under the sun in every scale making this character again. I'm pretty sure it's a opening of the license, and these companies have definitely abused that. And this is JND's first attempt in 1/6 scale for a figure format, and let's pretty much see how they've gone with it. So enough of my rambling. If you guys do enjoy this, make sure you like and sub, and we'll get right into the pictures. So we got the pictures here, and obviously you got the date in Korean time when this listing got put up for pre-order. It's long past gone. If you can see behind me, I've been a bit busy building my module cases, so I kind of was late to the party pretty much to this. But what I'm going to do is zoom into the head sculpt here in particular and look at the rooted hair and look at the silicone body. Pretty much this is going to be the biggest difference compared to the other competitive figures that have been released, the in-art, and coming out around the same time as this, the Hot Toys one. The silicone skin is a bit of an issue for me, I guess. I think that would be the main drawback for me to even purchase this or to purchase any future JND stuff. I just feel for 1/6 it kind of defeats the purpose of a figure, you know, being a rubbery statue where you can't move it, because that's ultimately what's going to happen to this. You're going to not be able to move it. Like even something like this bend arm, because the body underneath the suit is also fully seamless silicone, it's going to break and tear, and I don't know if that's worth 3,000 Australian dollars. But regardless of the price and all that, because again that's subjective to everyone, I think the head sculpt looks good. Something else about JND, and I've seen it with their statues too, and with this obviously, is it seems like they go really hardcore with the saturation and the sharpness to the point where it kind of teeters away from the likeness of the character. Like, this looks like Heath. Yes, it does. However, it looks like Heath if he was alive today playing Joker in his 40s or 50s. I don't think this looks like a 28-year-old Heath Ledger at all. It does look like him, don't get me wrong. However, it looks like in these prototypes they've aged him up a bit. But saying that, this might be an actual positive thing to make him more aged in the prototype, so when the mass production comes, it scales back and these harsh details lessen, and Heath looks as young as he did in the film. So maybe this is a good thing that we're getting an over-aged looking Joker for a prototype. But yeah, that's kind of the only negative I have with the head sculpt. I think it looks fine. The expression is a bit boring though, in my opinion. I've had enough of this same stare with every Heath Ledger Joker. I mean, we've gotten 3 companies doing him already, and they've all got a very similar expression, which is this, the blank stare. I mean, come on, change it up from that. The rooted hair looks good. I assume for people that have the in-art one, I have the in-art one, the double pack, it's going to be pretty much the same looking thing. I doubt it would look worse or any better. I think it's just on par. So we've got another classic grenade pose here, which again, this is going to be a fully seamless rubber silicone body, so good luck posing it like this, especially holding up with this elbow joint, and also the friction of the suit. You've got like 3 pieces here, well more. You got more than 3 layers of clothing on a rubbery suit. It's going to be pretty difficult to move around with all this shit. Also, just to point out something, the purple coat looks fine. maybe the photo's really grainy, but this looks a bit bathrobe-y, right? This looks like the DX type bathrobe material, and it's not weathered at all anywhere, which is kind of interesting. I mean, to be fair, the Hot Toys one is pretty pristine like this too, but InArt done a really good job with the weathering. Like, the whole collar was really dirty. Also, another thing with all the companies is this jacket looks way too pristine on all of them. Like, Joker was rolling around everywhere in the movie, and he didn't have like a freshly ironed jacket. It was crumpled, it was disgusting. So I'm also not a fan of that, where it's too clean, especially for something like this, which this is supposed to be the most premium you can get, and it's still not weathered enough. So we've got a side profile here of Heath's Joker, which again, it looks good. It's just that I'm a bit tired of seeing the same shit from companies, so I'm probably going to keep saying that throughout this. But I do like the base. This one and the InArt base is leagues better than the Hot Toys one, in my opinion. I much prefer the magnets. I think all companies should move away from the crotch grabbers now, considering that this is a much needed upgrade. Although hopefully JND have heard some of the complaints from the InArt collectors, and hopefully this whole plate is magnet instead of just having his foot allocated in these spots, because again, it defeats the purpose of a figure if I have to stand him like this. I want to move him. And if you're gonna put magnets specifically here, plus a silicone body, how are we gonna move him? It's just going to be legitimately a statue, which then, why not just continue doing that at that point? So we've got the interrogation look here with the jacket off and the blazer off. Again, looks good. The expression is unique. This is a much different expression from any of the other figures that we've gotten, so well done, finally. You could get another expression. I don't know if it's worth $3,000 getting just a different head expression, but we've got one here at least. Everything's good here, looks fine. The jacket, the suit, the missing button as always, the cuffs. You get seamless arms, which I think you get articulated ones that are all silicone, and then I think you get just regular resin ones, if I remember. So you can swap them out if you don't want the rubbery ones to a resin style. So that's fine, I guess, if you don't want the rubber. I mean, I still don't see a point in this being rubber, because everything here can be done in plastic and has been done well in plastic. And plastic is going to last way longer than what this material ever would. And yeah, it seems like a waste of an investment to do a whole silicone body and have it completely covered head to toe pretty much, and you're not showcasing any of it. Like, if this was a Bane from Rises, I think that might have been a better showcase of a silicone body, because he's more exposed to actually show that off. I just don't see a point in it. And then you've got the fear of the longevity of, is it even going to last that long? I don't know, I just find it weird that they've done that. And to be honest, if all JND's figures are just going to be silicone, then that's probably made it more easier for me to pass on all their stuff, because I'm not going near anything that isn't just regular plastic, or at least a material that isn't going to melt and rot and peel paint and all that shit. Like, the old Hot Toy figures have not lasted well that had rubbery, silicone-esque materials. You know, the Superman, Christopher Reeves is a good example. Alan Ripley from Aliens is another good one. The original T1 Terminator, they've all rotted away. I had to swap the bodies out because the paint has just melted off the rubber. And this is going to be a worse thing because this is a full clown makeup. I mean, we don't even know how long that's going to last. Also, JND don't even know because they've put a disclaimer on, I think it was like a warranty and replacement stuff. So not even they are confident enough in if this is going to last, and that's not really a good thing, and makes me want to buy their figures in confidence if you're given disclaimers of warranty and longevity this early as well. So we got another photo here of him clapping. Again, it looks good. I like the head sculpt. The eyes, again, are magnetic pen rolly system instead of tearing the back of the hair up. You know, traditional Hot Toy style. And the in-art one. This is going to be a magnetic singular thing. Justin, actually, from Justin's collection, he said actually something very interesting of how do you stop the magnet from moving when you're done posing it. Like, if you've got the pen and move the pen away, is the eye still going to follow that pen? How far is the distance of the magnetized system going to stop? So that's going to be an interesting thing to see how this even works. And also, for people that are going to get the double pack one, if you guys thought the in-art way to put the head sculpts on was a nightmare, this is going to be 10 times worse, because you have to pull all this apart to pop the whole rubbery gasket neck piece off, and then you have to fight with fabric, pop the swap out one on. So again, it looks good, but the functionality, I don't know, it just feels more of a hassle. And yeah, we've got another pose here of him sitting in the chair. Maybe the chair's die-cast. I mean, I don't know if that's 3K worth it for a die-cast chair, but it's nice that we have it. And it is different to the other figures that have just released. You know, the in-art one was based on the prison scene where Jim becomes commissioner and Joker claps, kind of mocking him at that point. This is more interrogation look with the actual chair. So I'm guessing in the eventual future we're going to get a Bale Batman to pair with him, as every other company is doing now. So get ready for the same shit with Bale, I guess, now at this point. We get a little articulation demonstration here of the neck. I mean, it looks good. This is more like the scene where the truck tips and he kind of cracks his neck. I mean, I guess if people want to pose it like that. But actually, this is a good photo to show how lack of weathering detail this jacket has. And it does. It looks bathrobe-y like the DX11. It doesn't look like the in-art one, where the in-art one was actually like a fabric to scale. This looks... yeah, it looks bathrobe-y to me. So this is a good picture here of the hands. So I'm assuming it's a magnetic joint in here, similar to the in-art ones. Or maybe it's like a key-in slot. Again, these look on par with the in-art ones. The only difference is these all articulate individually, and again, being silicone, we just don't know how long this is going to last. For a third scale statue, it's fine because you just peg the statue together and that's it, you're done with it. With this, you're going to want to pose it and move the fingers. Again, it's just, this is too big of a risk. It's too unfamiliar of a thing for 1/6 scale for me to want to dive full into, especially the price point. And also, I'm not a fan of this material, so again, if JND are going to do this with all their figures, they've just made it easier for me to not worry about buying their shit. But saying that, the details look great. Like, this looks good. This looks better than the Hot Toys arms. It's again on par with the in-art ones. The only gimmick here is you got singly articulated fingers. So aesthetically wise, it looks great. It's just, are people willing to pay $3,000 Australian for this? So this is what the double pack comes with. This is the most exclusive option you can get. So you get 2 figures, you get 2 Rottweiler dogs, even though there was 3 in the end scene. I have no idea what that is. That's not the RPG. I don't know what that is. You get money cards, the grenades, handcuffs, gloved hands, which actually, that's interesting. Are the glove hands rubber as well, or are they regular plastic? I'm not too sure. I assume die-cast weapons. I would hope as well. As well as a die-cast chair. You get 2 bases, which, again, I prefer better than the Hot Toys ones. I don't know about the in-art ones though. I really love the big jail diorama. And I actually do like the concrete circle one. So they're probably on par in my opinion. Although I've just seen something now. This has got a wood grain. So I don't know what scene they're going for from this. Because going by the chair, he's not sitting in the cell. He's in the interrogation room, which I don't think had wood boards as for flooring. So yeah, that's a bit weird. Speaking of weird, I've just noticed you get another purple jacket and blazer to throw on this guy as well. That's weird. I don't know why you would want to double up on the same identical look, but you have it if you want it. But yeah, just going to my final thoughts on the figure. I do think visually it looks great, and I think the head sculpts may be a bit aged, but if it dials down for mass production, that's probably a benefit. You would rather it look aged in a prototype, so again, when mass produces, it scales down a bit, so I'm fine with that. However, I personally don't see the worth in this, and for people that are JND aficionados, if you want this, get it, and if you're used to the silicon and all that, get it. This, in my opinion, is on par with the Hot Toys and the in-art one. I don't see a significant difference between them. They've all got different things that look good and accurate to Heath, but then some other stuff, they don't particularly scale well. Yeah, I think overall the biggest detractor for me with this is the silicon body, because realistically you've got all these accessories to pose him with, but the way they've showed it here is probably the only way you're going to pose it, and it's probably the best way to do it if you want to actually save the silicon. Because I'll take the chair for example. How are you going to seat him in the chair and have him sit in that position for, let's say, a year, and then the rubber cracks? Are they going to replace the body at that point? I mean, it's just, I feel this is just more of like a demo figure to just test the waters, to see if this style will work, and if you want to be the lab rat to something like this, then so be it. But yeah, overall, I think it's a fantastic piece. It's not a piece for me, because I feel I got the Joker that I personally like in my collection, and until there's a massive significance in just figure making, the in-art one is just going to be the one that I'm going to keep for now. And when I mean significance, I mean more like head sculpt upgrades and something like that. Because some people can argue that the silicon body is a significance change in the figure formats. I think it's a step in the wrong direction, because if you want to do more in posability than what they're showing here, you're shit out of luck, because you're going to crack it. So I think that's a step in the wrong direction, but again, opinions, everyone's got different ones, and at the end of the day, these are just mine. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you like and sub, and I'll see you in the next one.